Polite inquiries. Satya says, is Rohit Sharma a better spinner than Jadeja? Probably not. But Jadeja is a holding bowler, and eventually he met Ian Bell. You can only hold for so long, can't you?
Without being done for stalking, in my experience,
Yes.
I think you've got to have quite a lot of skill to do what Ian Bell did.
But eventually, they were going to score off Jadeja.
He murdered Jadeja. And really, you shouldn't be allowed to be as good as Jadeja is at Test level and be the main spinner on the side, because he doesn't do enough with it.
Atulia says,
You've learned how to say that really well.
what must have been going through Matt Pryor's mind as he saw Dhawan put Buttler down? Well, plus the Rahane catch.
I don't think that's relevant, really, because
It's relevant if you're a human being.
Nah, we know that Butler's going, not the finished article. We know he's going to take a while. We know there are going to be bad days with the gloves and with the bat. We also know he's 23 and ridiculously talented.
Yeah.
They've got to stick with him for 6 months at least now. They've got to.
Or at least to the end of this test. Hardik says, is cricketing God turning? Cook dropped on 13, Bell out on 0, Buttler was out on 0, and balance not given.
The players say when they do badly, judge us on the processes, you know, just stick to...
Yeah.
Well, if you judge them on the process, they just got lucky today. That wasn't actually that much better, because, Cook could have been out for 15, Bell and Buttler could both have been out for 0.
Nothing, yeah.
And that is just chance. That's only luck, the difference between success and failure there. But at least they took their chances and went on and capitalised on it. So it's a step in the right direction, but it just reminds us how important luck is in the game.
Phil says, will Moeen get in trouble for his pro-Palestine bracelets? I mean, this is not the biggest offence. He hasn't pushed anyone.
England is saying that it wasn't a political statement, it was a humanitarian statement.
Which is a lovely thing, but I don't think everyone will find it that way.
And they point out that tomorrow they're all wearing Help for Heroes armbands, and there's a minute's silence to commemorate the start of the First World War.
Hugh says, which is more important for England, the result or the performance of their senior players this test? The result, because they can't be 1-0 down at the end of this test. They really need to win this test.
The senior players do need to contribute.
Definitely.
But
and
yeah,
they'll be happy with what's happened so far.
It's a team game, it's not about individuals.
Kirthi says, so is this a flat pitch, or will you guys decide it is when a couple of Indian batsmen get centuries? What I will say is this, the ball was actually moving, so I think if you get the ball in the right area consistently on this pitch, and I think had the Indian bowlers done that instead of scattering it around, you would have got wickets. So if England can do that, there's every chance India won't cruise away to 500 or 600, but it's not an easy pitch to get wickets on, let's be fair. I mean, if you look out there at the moment, you can actually see most of the soul of Pankaj Singh. Kishan says, have India peaked and it's all down here from here? Yep, they're finished, I'll never win another test match. I mean, I think it's a bit far to write India off, but they could still make 700 on this pitch.
I think it's going to be really hard to bowl them out. That, you know, with Rahane probably coming in at 6 or Rohit Sharma at 5 or 6. It's tough for England.
They should not roll over. Nicholas says,
Nico,
what has happened to Dhoni's keeping? Is that the easiest stumping he's ever missed? He's missed some doozies over the years, let's be fair to Dhoni. But there must have been a point where Buttler, who was the person who was missed, must have turned around and gone, well, I could have missed that. Clearly I'm good enough to be a test keeper.
It just shows people go into test cricket and they're very nervous about it, but they're not Superman, you know?
Yeah.
I thought we saw this evening Chris Jordan look really nervous, and he just needs to relax and do what he does, and he'll be absolutely fine, I'm sure.
Desagiri says, how much of India missed the new Ishant Sharma? Oh, a lot.
A bit. You missed the guy who one afternoon at Lord's, England batted badly against.
Bowled a very good spell on a flat pitch also at Trent Bridge. He needs to get a little bit of credit for being Ishant Sharma.
Wait, had he played, Pankaj wouldn't have played, and he was the pick of the bowlers.
It didn't get a wicket. Simon says, if you could wear one wristband, what would it say? Save George Dobell? Kunal says, what exactly were MSD's tactics after lunch? What was he trying to achieve with 1 over spells? I think he was trying to confuse the commentators.
Free Jarrod Kimber.
Dutchbird Kate says, do you think Giles Clarke would taste better pickled or rolled in breadcrumbs than deep fried?
Do you remember the film Alive, where the rugby team crash in the Andes and they eat the dead ones? Imagine we crashed and he was dead. I think we'd just go without. We'd be like, no, I ate last February. I'm all right.
You say that, but Giles Clarke sushi.
I think Giles Clarke would be delicious. In fact, there were times during the afternoon, once that question came in, I kept looking over at him and going...
You do that to him most days. KRSNA says, what is the red thing spectators wearing around their ears? Live octopus. We'll see you tomorrow.
I was looking for one.